Let's go. All right, so Taj, the Rays advanced, the Tampa Bay Rays advanced to the World Series. They beat the Houston Astros 4-2 in this game. The Astros actually had a chance to take the lead late in the eighth, and they didn't capitalize on that. But it was a long ball that did it for the Rays. They had two home runs. The Astros they had a lot of hits, but nothing to get them over the hump. And this, I mean, the last couple of postseasons, the Astros they've been cheating, and I guess it's safe to say cheaters never prosper. And what's your take on this?
Man, cheating or not, these Astros, they weren't going to be these Tampa Bay Rays. I've been telling people all along, Tampa Bay Rays has probably the best pitching staff in the major league this year, and they really have the best team. They put together timely hits. I mean, you got a guy in rookie Randy Arozarena. This guy has 7 home runs already in the postseason. The
Yeah,
record is 8, set by Nelson Cruz in 2011 and Barry Bonds in 2002. He's probably going to pass that if they're going to World Series. He's probably going to hit 2 home runs in the World Series, and he probably is going to have the record. He also have the rookie record for hits, 21. I mean, he's second in rookie hits in the postseason with 21. Derek Jeter is 22, so he is probably going to have that record as well. Like this guy has just been insane for them. I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting this, but this. Tampa Bay Rays, they are the best team in the American League. I know a lot of people say they may not have the most talent, but in terms of a team that puts together the most timely hits, in terms of a pitching staff that just plays their role and just comes in and contribute, Tampa Bay Rays are the best team in the American League, and I'm not shocked to see them in the World Series. They've been banging on the door the past 2 years, and whenever you see a team been banging on the door and they couldn't get over the hump, they finally break through, and that's what you see now. Like they're heading to the World Series, and I think a lot of people are happy for them, and a lot of people are happy that the Houston Astros didn't make it. Nobody in the world likes the Houston Astros right now. Even Houston fans
yeah,
are pissed off with
nobody
the
likes them.
Astros. So like I think everyone is happy for the Tampa Bay Rays right now. Like I'm happy. Like they're in the same division as me, but I'm happy. At least they beat the Yankees. At least I'm happy at least for that. But this team is scary, and I helped them win in the World Series. I said it from 2 weeks ago. Like when I saw they beat the Yankees, I said these boys can win the World Series. I don't know anyone who's going to stop them. So like this team, whoever comes out of the National League, they have themselves a handful.
Yeah, they definitely been playing some good baseball, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. And we saw like because they've been in what this two they've been in the game five with the Yankees, and now the game seven with the Astros, and they came true. And it's really was helping them. It's a long ball, and they like you said they put together a lot of time. They had time. The pitching tonight. I mean, the Astros pitching staff was pretty good. I can't remember who started for them. He just really after that
Lance
home run,
McCullers.
yeah, after the home run in the first inning, he they held it down pretty nice after that. They gave up 2 runs after that. But on the Astros, the Rays, I mean, more than he held it down. He gave them good. He gave them like 5.5 innings, and he didn't give up any runs. And then after that, when they took him off, we saw like a lot of people started complaining. It's like, oh, this is a bad move. This is a bad move, and they still got up the inning. But then that's when the Astros bat started to come alive right after they took him off, and but they held through, and I still think well I mean I hope what's the team, the Braves, I hope they beat the Dodgers. That's going into a game seven, and I think who I feel like I just want whatever team comes out of the NL, I want them to like I feel like the Braves or the Dodgers could beat them because the Braves and the Dodgers they've been knocking on the door for a long time too. The Braves had, I mean, the Dodgers had some really bad postseason runs. I mean, they had some good runs, and then coming down to the stretch, they just couldn't finish it. So both those teams been knocking on the door for a while too. Let's not forget about those teams.
Yeah, but none of those teams have the pitching rotation like this team. I told you guys, this team has three Cy Young candidates. Blake Snell won the Cy Young 2 years ago. Charlie Martin came third last year, and Tyler Glasnow is the number one starter on any other team than the Tampa Bay Rays. They have three. I don't know anyone who's going to compete with that. Like I don't no team is going to compete with that. Like anyone that said taking off Charlie Martin was a bad move, you have to be a fool. You have not watched these Rays the past 2 years. This Rays team has the best bullpen in the major league the past 2 years. Let me tell you something. This Rays team went leading by the seventh inning, 62 straight wins when they had the lead in the seventh inning. I don't know any other team that even comes close to that. 62 straight wins when leading in the seventh inning. I mean, I was watching my Red Sox this year, and we'd be up 5 runs in the seventh inning, and we end up losing the game by 2 runs by the ninth. Like this Rays team, they are lights out. Like once they have that lead, it's over. It's over for you. This team reminds me of the 2012 San Francisco Giants. That team went on to win the World Series. Remember, they had Bumgarner, Barry Zito, Matt Cain, Ryan Vogelson. Like their pitchers, their starting pitching staff was just
Yeah,
crazy. They was like just monsters. And then they had Santiago Castillo on the back end and Sergio Romo. Like that really reminds me of this team. And they also had the young players. They had Posey. He was, I think it was third year in the league. I think he won MVP that year. And then they had Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford, and they had guys like Marco Scudero, guys and Hunter Pence, guys who aren't really all stars, but they just know how to contribute for their team. Yeah. That's exactly what this Rays team is. Like they don't really have no big time all star. They just have guys that contribute. Like that team really reminds me of this team, and trust me, whoever Dodgers or Braves, I don't think they can see this team. I mean, like that pitching rotation is light. So these guys need three. You give them 3 runs. If they give their pitching rotation 3 runs, they gonna win. they gonna win a lot of games. All they need is about 3 runs, and they gonna win those games. These guys,
we saw both the Dodgers and the Braves. They're streaky with their bats, and we saw the Braves this season when they played the Marlins. How much they put on them? They put 23 runs on them, I think it was. So, and the Dodgers, we saw, I think it was game 4, game 5. They came out in the first inning and scored like 11 runs or 10 runs. So both those teams, those bats could get really hot, and I feel like they could keep up with the pitching on the Rays. So I don't think it'll be
not even close. The pitching is not even close.
But and then you gotta realize these guys being playing back to back to back day after day. The pitchers, their arms, these dudes need some rest, and they're not getting rest. So I feel like coming down to the end of the World Series, when you get to like game 4, game 5, like it could be about the bats at that point.
But in the same voice, I could say the hitters, like if you're a hitter and you playing back to backs and you're in the slump, we see it with Alex Bregman. He's probably like 100 for the whole postseason. He never could have gotten rid of him. Like, he can't practice. You're not really getting any practice time. You're not really getting time to get your stroke. Every other day is a game. And, you don't just come out of hitting slump one day out of the week. It takes you about some time to come out hitting slump. You see the same thing with Mookie Betts. He's actually in hitting slump as well. Like a lot of those guys are in slumps. But come on, the pitching of the Braves and Dodgers are not going to keep it. The Braves were starting a rookie. This guy made his debut yesterday. That can tell you how depleted their staff is right now. The Dodgers, they had to bring on Kershaw. Like only Walker Buehler is really the only one on that staff that's going to put some fair in people. And then if you come on the back end, that bullpen is depleted. The Braves bullpen is depleted as well. So those teams, like, trust me, I'm always, when it comes to the World Series, I'm always going to take the best pitchers over the best hits, because we seen last year the Washington Nationals, probably the best pitching staff in the major league, and Houston Astros were by far the best offensive lineup in the league, and they shut those guys down. We see it with the year before when with the Boston Red Sox, we had a great pitching staff with Chris Sale at the top, and we basically shutting guys down. A lot of people were talking about the Dodgers because they were putting up extraordinary numbers and they got shut down. You see it all the time. The Yankees, they can never get their pitching staff rolling, and they heard this. Everyone on that team could hit 30 home runs a season, but they could never get over the hump because bats go cold. And when pitches is locked in, like it's over. So I mean, I don't think, like, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to keep up with the arms the Rays are gonna throw on. And this team puts together some timely hits, just frustrate the hell out of the teams. And the Dodgers and The Braves, they're in a heavyweight fight right now. Like they're releasing all arms
Yeah,
on deck. You see, Kershaw, he had to come off a couple days rest and back spasms just to win,
yeah,
just to pitch a game for the Dodgers. Like I
true.
don't know. I think coming out of that fight, Dodgers and the Braves come, and then you have to
Yeah,
face Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, and Charlie Barton. I think it's gonna be too much.
yeah. I feel like the Rays definitely have the advantage rest wise, and the pitchers coming out the NL, they'll be banged up. They'll be shot on arms for sure. So the Rays definitely have the advantage on that.